It's All in You by Rafael Salazar. As a man is, so he sees. As the eye is formed, such are its powers. William Blake. To reach your heaven requires a leap of faith, and there are those who prefer to ignore that leap and play it safe in hell. Like me, anyone listening to this has been confronted with the hardships of life in one way or another at some point. It could be mundane struggles, such as struggling with studies or work, failing to pay the bills, fights between loved ones, or a disability or injury. It could also be deeper, existential struggles, such as confrontation with death from the loss of a loved one or getting close to death yourself, heartbreak from losing a significant relationship, depression and anxiety, a loss of identity or purpose, loneliness, or a deep dissatisfaction with yourself and the world around you. We not only face our personal hardships, but also those seemingly brought on by the world around us. We see news that our economy is in jeopardy, scientists warn us that a climate crisis is developing, politicians infuriate their people by putting their greed over them, and the general anxiety seems to be building up around the world. All this while we as individuals long to find an understanding, a sense of peace and happiness with life. Indeed, even after 5,000 years of practiced religion, philosophy, mysticism, culture, and even science, we have yet to establish a firm purpose for our collectivity. Religions are growing more obsolete, and philosophies are proving limited or forgotten to the point that we seem to have abandoned their quest altogether and seek our contentment through purely material means. We have engineered our way to material abundance, having more food than we need, cities that shelter and provide for us, endless entertainment, vehicles that take us where we need without moving a leg. You could continue this list for hours. Yet, our meaning and purpose, both as individuals and as a collectivity, is as obscure as ever, as if we were going in circles. My claims are supported by very clear statistics. By the year 2030, the World Health Organization projects that unipolar depression will be the leading cause of disease burden. Today, more people are committing suicide than deaths caused by armed conflict and natural disaster combined. Don't be dispirited by this. It is simply the current state of affairs, and we can act upon it. Simply put, it is clear that the story we tell ourselves about ourselves is no longer fulfilling, that the human narrative is reaching its dead ends. How can we as individuals navigate all this? Where do we even start? Where do we find the strength to start? Should we continue living in the familiarity of our fear and ignorance? Though my answer is purely personal and may not be the magic pill you look for, it is something that you can put to the test in yourself and not just believe in. Additionally, it is an answer that many men before me have also reached, and without which I would probably not have been guided to the same conclusion myself. It's all in you. The cause of life's burdens lie within you, as well as their solutions. You are your savior, as well as your condemner. Everything starts and ends with you. As the poet John Milton said, the mind is its own place and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. Though this may be difficult to accept and even infuriating as we've always claimed to be victims of reality, once digested, these claims can be incredibly empowering. All the happenings of life, whether the circumstances of the world, the problems that torment you, your memories, your predictions about the future, everyone you know and have known, the entirety of your experience, including my voice that you are hearing right now, exists only in awareness. Awareness creates reality. Nothing outside of awareness can exist, and you can't think of anything in your mind that does not enter your awareness first. Behind the perception of our material world, behind the physical forms of our bodies, our sex and gender, our ego personality, our memories, thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, lies the one thing that connects us all: consciousness. Consciousness or awareness is the core of our being, and everything that conforms our lives lies within consciousness. You can understand this within yourself by simply dedicating time to sit still and center yourself in awareness. You will begin to realize how you breathe life into any facet of your reality by allowing it to dwell within your awareness. Not only is this truth experienced subjectively, quantum physics is also proving this through experiment. The Double Slit Experiment proves that the act of observing collapses a wave of potentials into the materialization of a specific potential. Consciousness breathes life to matter. As Neville points, reality is where your consciousness is located. Consciousness creates reality, not the other way around. Consciousness is a prerequisite for anything else to exist, for all exists within it. Your life is exactly the same as your awareness of being, and whatever we allow our minds to dwell in is reflected by reality. I stress the understanding of these statements because in their understanding lies the ability to tap into the divine power that each one of us has. This understanding is the foundation from which you can begin to transform yourself. At this moment, you have the power to consciously remove from your awareness anything you please, and allow to enter in awareness whatever you do want. Nothing is exempt from this rule. Even the awareness of your body can be dissolved if the mind is disciplined enough. Whatever you think about, imagine, and entertain, moment to moment, is taking the center stage of your awareness. To take conscious control of what you allow to dwell in your awareness and who you allow yourself to be aware of being is to start taking control of your life experience. Not knowing this, we allow ourselves to slip into the habit of thinking negatively, to expect the worst outcome, and in doing so, reality reflects back to us this state of awareness. We become victims of the universe, blaming the external circumstances as the cause of our suffering, and in doing so, robbing our minds of power and freedom. By saturating our consciousness of negativity and victimhood, we program our life to be an unbreakable cycle of suffering. So many of us have fallen into this pattern of consciousness that it is the predominant focus of our collective consciousness. Through the news, social media, and our day-to-day conversations, it is clear that collectively we allow fear, egoism, antagonism, and materialism to dominate our consciousness. Yet just as these states of consciousness exist, so do the ones that can lift your awareness towards a better life experience, a much better one. Awareness can be shifted towards states such as love, gratitude, confidence, faith, intelligence, and creativity through a conscious change of thought. The types of thoughts we think each day become the default of our minds, the center point of our awareness, and thus the dominant forces of our lives. Through a conscious control and selection of our thoughts, assumptions, beliefs, and predictions, we can transform our states of awareness. Positively selected, these would benefit us in shifting us to a more awareness of love, peace, prosperity, beauty, and freedom in our lives. It's important to realize that if we wait for external events, things, or people to make us aware of these things, we are condemning ourselves to always be disappointed. The awareness of abundance, love, and freedom must be ignited on our own by consciously becoming aware of them despite any external validation. Tonight, there will be a rich man in his mansion on the verge of mental despair, while a man living by the check smiles to the sky in gratitude for another day lived. The difference is in the quality of awareness. If I go about my day with gratitude, that is, an awareness of the abundance I already possess, then in time I will program this to be my default state of consciousness. I will briefly describe the states of awareness that create a more positive life experience. Love is the awareness of the divinity of life, of appreciating the object of love for what it is and recognizing its brilliance. Peace is the awareness of stillness within oneself, to accept the now and flow graciously with it. Happiness is the awareness of being and doing what you truly desire, a complete satisfaction of who you are. Grace is the awareness of being connected to something bigger than yourself and being guided by it. Health is the awareness of vitality in your body, of balance and harmony in your organism. Courage is the awareness of possessing the inner strength and the ability to face your circumstances. Compassion is the awareness of the vulnerability and fragility of life and to actively care for it. Intelligence is the awareness of intricate details, of the patterns of nature and how we can connect them. Creativity is the awareness that new things can be created out of what's already been created. Many more states can be described, but I believe I have mentioned some of the most powerful ones. You have the power to shift your awareness into these elevated states by consciously choosing your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions and persisting until they become your default mindset. As you do this, changes will occur around you that reflect this newly acquired mindset. As you transform your inner world, the outer world will follow, since it is consciousness that creates reality. As the painter Alex Gray says, be an artist of consciousness. Your picture of reality is your most important creation. Make it powerfully and profoundly beautiful. In the beginning, this is easier said than done, as it requires something many are not willing to do: self-abandonment. When you decide to consciously change the direction of your mind, you're practically abandoning a part of yourself. You're sacrificing the old you, the you that is locked in the thoughts and beliefs that created an undesired life experience. As you begin this change, you're creating and embodying a new sense of self and letting go of an old sense of self. Essentially, killing a version of you so a new version can resurrect. This process can be uncomfortable, like the way a new pair of shoes feels when you first begin to use them. You may fall back to your old pattern during many attempts, but with persistence, you will be successful in creating a permanent change in awareness. You simply create and then meditate on the thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions that bring you to your desired state of awareness. You push out of awareness anything that contradicts your desired state, including negative news, unwanted conversations, self-limiting thoughts, disempowering beliefs, and painful memories. You watch yourself, cultivating the mental discipline of only residing in the states of awareness you consciously desire. This does not mean to be ignorant about reality. It means being indifferent to the things that are contradicting your desired state and not allowing them to take the center stage of awareness enough to cause an emotional reaction. Our judgment of life is predetermined by the states of awareness we look at it from. What's stopping you from shifting into the awareness of being who you truly want to be now and possessing the life you desire to have? If you wait for this to happen externally, it will never arrive. It will only take form in your reality after you sustain the state of awareness desired. So think about yourself from the highest regard you can. Bring into awareness all the qualities your heart desires. Shift your awareness from a sense of lack to abundance. Deem that you are worthy of all your desires in living a fulfilling, joyous life. Appreciate in your awareness all the people that are and have been in your life. Assume that this world is full of possibility and that the universe conspires to lift you up. Thought precedes action, and as you embody your newly created awareness, you will begin to act and do the things that align with it. Remember, consciousness creates reality. By changing your awareness, you will also change the world. You will participate differently in it, and the people around you will naturally change themselves to reflect your change in awareness. Your mind will be a guiding beacon that demonstrates the state of consciousness that the rest of our collectivity must reach to evolve in this world. The world is run by billions of individual minds, but the change that happens in any of these minds will also be a change in the collective consciousness. The collective consciousness is the driver of the steam engine of human history. Don't doubt the power of transforming your awareness. By changing your mind, you will change history. As the ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu stated, if you want to awaken all of humanity, then awaken all of yourself. If you want to eliminate all the suffering in the world, then eliminate all that is negative in yourself. Truly, the greatest gift you have to give is that of your own self-transformation. What do you have to lose? Are you really so invested in being your old, limited self that you can't abandon yourself to something better? Of course not. Consciously or unconsciously, every human being wants love, peace, happiness, and to contribute in the creation of a brighter world. So stop looking for answers outside and look within. Start by meditating and centering yourself in awareness, becoming one with it. Then, do the inner work of cleansing your awareness of all negativity and impregnate it with the thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions that are in tune with your ideal. Repeat these new thoughts and feel what they evoke in you. Be persistent, and I promise you that you will bear the fruits of your harvest. Imagine and assume that you are already the man or woman you've always wanted to be, and remain in that state. It's all within you. Everything you need is at hand. Your mind is like water, able to take the form of its container, which is your state of awareness. Simply choose the state you want, and then embody it. It's all in you. If you enjoyed listening to me, please share so that others can too. Stay in tune to my channel if you want to hear more talks from me similar to this. Thank you.